$32 million, and this person has nothing, and you can sleep, you can still go to the movies about, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. How can they be humanitarians by the fact that they're millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are? You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me.
Community as a whole is sick. And so the sick society produces abnormalities. And street organizations, gangs, are those abnormalities. We go out and shoot another brother or sister or an innocent. It's the hate we got in us for self that makes him, makes her.
Her book is on everything, homie. I'm not just saying it. Your a classic. Okay, yo, it's when I was up in that jailhouse, you hated West Side. They don't like nothing. They loved you. You can't read. Was reading this one day. Yeah. Nobody could put that down. Well, I'm telling you, hey, but yours would be just as explosive.
Tupac didn't consider many people in the industry his true friends, but one of the rare individuals he genuinely viewed as a friend was Monster Kody.
Where did Monster come from?
The name?
Yeah.
Because America produced me, but the name came from a beating that I had given the guy.
Kody, a former Crips gang member turned author and activist, connected deeply with Tupac because they were alike in many ways, especially in their mindset and beliefs. Both were sharp, insightful thinkers who shared a vision beyond the streets. While they had ties to the gang world, they weren't just mindless gangbangers. They were strategists with purpose and ambition. Tupac's passion for the streets and his constant calls for change were well known. And it's part of what bonded him with Kody on such a real level.
Use his mind. When you use your brain, it doesn't always have to come to a violent end. But sometimes it does, and that's all that I'm saying. That is a choice.
Monster Kody was on the same wavelength as Tupac. In fact, it was Kody's 1993 book, Monster, the Autobiography of an LA Gang Member, that first caught Tupac's attention. Pac was deeply impressed by Kody's journey of transformation and his revolutionary mindset. It spoke to the activist spirit Tupac carried within himself.
Community as a whole is sick. And so the sick society produces abnormalities. And street organizations, gangs, are those abnormalities.
The two shared real plans to bring change to their communities, but tragically, the streets claimed Tupac just a year into their movement. Kody kept pushing forward, carrying the torch for what they had envisioned, but sadly, he never got to see their full dream come to life before he passed away.
You know, so when he got hit, my first instinct was, damn, man, I'm homie got it. That's that same critical hate that was still in me that I thought I had revolutionized the way.
Don't fight for a street that you don't own a brick on. I've been doing that for 17 years. I'm a 17 years veteran of the Crip. I ain't got nothing. I don't own a brick in this country. You know what I mean? So what you fighting for?
Tupac and Monster Kody didn't share many public moments, but one of their earliest recorded interactions was a powerful 22-minute phone call on October 18th, 1995. It came shortly after both had been released from prison, and from the moment they started talking, you could feel the genuine comfort and mutual respect between them.
What's up? You got truth, man. Hey, I got the message you was kind of saying, but they had me on the Hannibal Lecter trip. Yeah, I was wondering what happened because they do that to me too when I was up in there.
During that call, they talked about a lot of things, but one standout moment was when Monster Kody mentioned wanting Tupac to play him in a movie about his life. Pac was genuinely open to the idea, showing just how much respect they had for each other's stories.
Hey, you know we start shooting the movie next month, right? You do? I'm telling you now, I want you to play me, man. I want to play you. Nobody play you. I'm gonna plug you in, man. I'm telling you, can't nobody do this shooting that Shakur thing. Alright, I'm gonna blow it up. You know how that Shakur thing. Hey, I represent it for you. I'm all of New York. I got all those New York dudes who hate the West Coast, screaming out your name.
They also discussed collaborating on music, with Tupac inviting Kody to his studio to record. But what really stood out was the deep respect Tupac had for Kody's journey and his book, Monster, the Autobiography of an LA Gang Member. Pac had read it while he was locked up, and it left a powerful impression on him. He even shared a moment when someone pulled a gun on him, And in that split second, his mind flashed to a scene from Kody's book where a similar situation was described, in vivid detail. That moment hit Pac-Hearted wasn't just a story to him. It was something he truly related to on a personal level.
When they pulled the pistols out, I swear on everything I love. First thing I thought about was reading in your book when you were talking about how you felt when it drew down on you. Ain't that cool? Exactly how I felt. The setup, the shit you were talking about, how you just look up like, boom.
But the most powerful part of their conversation wasn't about movies or music. It was about change. Tupac had a real plan to uplift black communities, and he wanted Kody to be a part of it. His vision was to build a youth league with football, basketball, and softball teams for both boys and girls. Each team would be sponsored by a different rapper, combining entertainment and activism to give kids something positive to be part of. It was Pac's way of using his influence to create real impact.
It's like we start like this youth league, right? Like football league, basketball, softball, for girls and boys. I'm gonna get all the rappers to adopt the team.
The plan was bigger than just sports. Tupac envisioned a full community movement. Rappers would fund the teams, local churches would sell food during the games, and men from the neighborhood would step up to provide security. The goal was to create unity, pride, and positive energy within the community. But Pac didn't want to stop there. He also planned to organize weekend block parties featuring performances from big-name rappers. These wouldn't just be parties, they'd be strategic, gatherings designed to bring people together, inspire hope, and mobilize the community for real, lasting change.
I'm with it. Then on the weekends, we have block parties. All right, every rapper got to get up. Every rapper got a record out. You got to get up for us. You got to come to a free show for the hood.
Once they had the numbers, the next step was political action. They planned to register voters and take their demands straight to the mayors of various cities. The message would be loud and clear. We have the people, we have the power, and we need real change in our communities. If you don't address our issues, you won't get our votes. It was about turning unity into leverage and using it to push for real, systemic change.
And then when we do that, we register the votes. And if we can register them for Democrat, Republican, or Independent, then we start going up to the mayors of these cities and telling them, look, we got this many votes in this city. We want you to do this. We want a community center. You start hitting up Nike for the free clothes, the computer stores for the free computers for each community center.
Tupac's plan also included tackling street violence and crime directly. He discussed reaching out to the shot callers in drug-infested areas, negotiating with them to ensure the streets stayed safe during specific hours. His approach was about creating a sense of order and safety, even within the toughest neighborhoods, by engaging the people who held the most influence.